the surround, the ambisonics, the interactivity, the connectivity. So the question is, what's our guide? Diba? Dream or dread? So how do we navigate our... Kaya maganda yung usapan natin kanina, sir, na tinatanong mo sa akin kanina. Paano mo nagawa to? Paano mo nagawa yan? Paano ka nakarating dyan? Paano ka na... Dream or dread? Yung ginagawa mo ngayon will reflect that. And this is, I think, where these values come in.
Okay.
Also, with the growth of technology, also with the growth of all these wonderful things, there's also an explosion of humanistic values. We're revisiting humanistic values. And we will see this a lot. Empathy, inclusion. Just to the point na big companies use these words para lang masabing, wow, humanistic na sila. But some companies don't actually do these things. Ano lang, salita lang, diba?
Yeah.
But if we really want the world to, what is genuine empathy, inclusion, sustainability? It can start with us, the practitioners, the people who are actually doing these things.
Right.
And this is where I think the possibility of the future becomes even nicer. Because once we combine empathy, inclusion, and sustainability to the previous technologies that we have, dyan ngayon papasok yung totoong pagiging tao. And if we'll remember, our technology is getting more advanced. There's talk that AI will eventually replace everyone, or at least most jobs. And if we just rely on technology or technical person ka, oh, I do this, I do that, AI will take over that. So saan tayo pwedeng lumugar? Tao tayo eh. So let's focus on humanistic values. Right? Let's make these technologies help humans, not replace us. Maybe they can replace us, but hopefully we do something else. But that's another thing, because yun nga, diba sinasabi nila 90%, 99% of future jobs have not been invented yet. And I think if we combine these things with the technology that we have right now, some of these jobs may come out. Someone who will parang quality assurance tester or checker, pero ang imbes na quality lang yung sinecheck mo kung inclusive ba yung technology mo o yung app mo o yung gamit mo.
Right.
Tinitest mo kung empathic ba tong object mo, yung nagawa mo. Sustainable ba to? Maybe baka yun yung mga bagong metrics natin for the future. And this is where I really get excited. So, pinagsama-sama ko na lang dito, wala nang animation. Pag-usapan na natin isa-isa kasi nahirapan ako gamitin yung sound. So, I think these are some of the, when I was doing this, these were some of the applications I was thinking of. So number one is audio education. Why audio education? Well, a lot of us, although we like sound, we consume sound, Spotify, music, whatever, movies, diba? But I don't think anyone here has had enough audio education about health, hearing health. Ito, trivia. Alam nyo ba na ang tenga ng tao, unlike mata pagka nagkatarata or something, pwede mong i-laser, babalik yan sa 2020, di ba?
Right.
Ang hearing, hindi. Once mag-start siya mag-degrade, all the way na yan, pababa.
Deteriorating na, kumbaga.
Deteriorating na. Kaya nga yung mga lolo't lola natin, talagang hard of hearing, hindi na siya babalik.
Right.
May mga frequencies na wawala. Some of us now, especially the younger generation, use headphones and earphones a lot. And they play their gadgets, their devices at a pretty loud volume. You might not know this. Ito, so trivia na nga lang. Trivia. The human hearing can hear really well. So yung decibels is the level of volume or yung loudness. 0 decibels mean you barely hear it. Parang you're in a quiet room, tas parang may kumakuskus na parang daga. That's 0 decibels. We can hear up to 140 decibels. But if you hear that, that's probably the last thing you'll hear kasi pagkatas ng sabog na yung tenga mo, sabog na yung eardrums mo. And that's the equivalent of, let's say, a jet engine. Ito yung tenga mo, bang! Gumana yung jet engine. Ganun yung equivalent nun. If you listen to your earpods, your earbuds, or whatever, lalo na yung earphones, kasi mas maliit yun, tapos pinapasok mo diretso sa tenga mo. If you listen to your iPod or your gadgets, whatever, and you listen to let's say yung volume mo mga 70 to 80% paakyat,
Mhm.
that's the equivalent of about 120 decibels. So if you listen to it every day for 8 hours a day,
Mhm.
you're on your road na mabibingi ka kagad ng mas maaga.
Mhm.
I remember in one of my classes in Benilde, we do this hearing test, kasi we were teaching physics of sound and ito yung 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Okay, ganyan mo. And then we had students, we were in the classroom, and I would play the sound starting from 20 hertz going up to 20,000 hertz. It goes, gaganon yun.
Mhm.
And meron dalawang estudyante at around 12,000 hertz. They go, niloloko nyo kami, sir. Kasi everyone was like, oh my God, asakit sa tenga. And sila, sir, nagjo-joke ba kayo? Wala naman kami naririnig. Dalawa yung nagganon. And we're like, narinig namin lahat. Pati yung mga kaklase na, ano ka ba? Hindi mo naririnig? Lakas-lakas kayo.
Right.
Wala kami naririnig. And then I found out, one guy always liked listening to his earphones really loud. He's those type of people that pag nakasabay mo sa elevator, naka-headphone, and you can hear it.
Naririnig mo siya.
Ganon.
Correct. Katabi mo, naririnig mo sila.
Oo, ganon siya klaseng tao.
Right,
Listen, so, ganon. Tapos sa kotse niya, dahil ma-sound siya, puro sa boofer, boom, boom, boom. Ganon ang lifestyle niya. Yeah.
So, delikado pala yun, sir, no?
Delikado yun. The other dude, Pep Squad.
Oh.
Nasa ilalim siya palagi nung malaking tambol. Boom, boom, boom. Regular siya sa Pep Squad na talagang trip ko talagang Pep Squad. So every game, every practice nandun siya. Bang! 12,000, remember, we're hearing from 20 to 20,000.
Yeah.
At 12,000, wala na silang naririnig. If you've ever wondered what it sounds like, you can go to VLC, play a movie, for example, or music, tapos doon sa tools, yung equalizer, patayin niyo yung mga high frequency from 20,000 pababa. Iwan nyo yung mga 10,000 pababa. Ganon yung mga naririnig nila. Parang weird. Kulang sa clarity.
Right.
So audio education is very important. Because we also see it where, let's say, nagpa-party ka sa McDonald's at sa Jollibee. Ang lakas ng speaker nila palagi.
Tapos sabog pa.
Yes. Sa Philippines kasi we have this culture na pag-party, yay! Natama naman yun. Masaya naman kasi talaga. But you also have to be aware, you're in a very small room, maybe as small as this room, with 6 very loud speakers, and they're going, tapos may, oh my God. As in, nakakabingi yun.
Totoo.
Nakakabingi. The audio health and how it affects people. I think, so dyan papasok yun. If you can use these things, these tools, to actually educate people about their hearing, about how sound can affect. And there are certain sounds that affect us. There are certain sounds na pag narinig mo naaasar ka, ang pakit ang tunog na yun. Pakilan! Parang masarap siya, ang hiyalas! Ang daming ganon.
Yeah.
Right? And actually sa mga wellness world, so wellness world naman, di ba, yung mga meditation and wellness, merong audio therapy. They use sound to help people relax, to meditate, to soothe. It's also used as therapy for mga taong may PTSD. Ang dami. So audio is not just for entertainment. It can be used for so many, it can even be used as weapons. Right? So, ang daming possibility ng sound. And I think kulang tayo sa understanding nito.
Totoo.
Okay? Next, education in general. Education in general is exciting for me if the schools of today start focusing on becoming progressive schools. When I say progressive schools, not so traditional na palagi na lang fixed yung curriculum, because they're just really training you to be part of the workforce without really thinking sometimes how people think and stuff like that. But imagine this, for example, if you have immersive sound, ambiosonics, virtual reality, and you teach, think TESDA, pack, sound, and then immersive ka, nagwe-welding ka. Because we learn not just by written and hearing, we learn by doing. So imagine if our education system employed these types of technologies to help children. And we know that. We learned that there's multiple intelligences. There's people who will respond to other stimulus, right? Stimuli na, oh, because I can hear it, because it's simulated, right? You can learn math. There are kids who learn math when they dance. There are kids who learn math by pushing blocks. There are kids who learn math by listening. So these new technologies, imagine that, especially with our world today, with the scare of the pandemic and all that. If you had a digital classroom where kahit di naman naka-Oculus Rift, but you have these speakers, kahit surround and whatnot, you have this screen. Oh, we're gonna go on a tour in the Amazon rainforest. And you can immerse the kids there. Ang ganda ng education, di ba? Ang saya. Di ba? It's not like, okay, ganito lang siya, di ba? Di ba? Boring, right? So imagine education being like that. Ang sarap isipin, right? Mas mabilis ka matututo because you've somewhat experienced it, because you were there. At least your senses were fooled enough. Your visuals, tenga mo, diba? You were fooled enough na matututo ka talaga. Cultural preservation. We know that in the future, a lot less people will want to be, it's happening right now. People in our indigenous tribes, indigenous groups, nawawala yung mga yung youth nila kasi nagfo-focus sa syudad, sa ano, 'di ba? Ano karaming tao ang, 'di ba, yung mga huling kwento ng mga elders diyan. Sino magki-keep nun? And we know MMA and technology can be a part to help preserve that, right? Mediamorphosis. So translating all these technologies back. So instead of just, reading it in a book or seeing it there in the book, yun nga, again, surround sound, immerse those people in this kind of storytelling. Or because with new technology, yun na nga, some of these stories, makikita mo come to life, di ba? Yung mga kwento ng mga village elders, and you can even interact with them. Touch the gods, touch this, di ba? Whatever. Exciting. Again, it's all part of education. Here's another one, visually challenged. Yung mga disabled people. This, hindi pa kasi ako nakakita ng advances sa MMA regarding our friends who are challenged visually. But what if we had, instead of like walking sticks, well, of course, they still need that, but pero pwede siyang connected, let's say, to, instead of a Google glasses, like a Google headphone, something like that, na sasabihin sa kanya, slow down pagka may kalye, di ba? In 30 steps, parang pwede mo i-calibrate yung step. Kasi may AI na connectivity, lahat yan connected eh. Tapos smart sound, di ba? Naglalakad siya, di ba? May mga tao nag-aantay. In 30 steps, tumigil ka kasi nakastop yung ilaw. Mga ganung bagay. Or for the colorblind, we design really nice visual stuff for people with regular vision. But what about for those people who can't see colors that well or hard of seeing, right? Nakakakita pero malabo na. Then sound comes into play, right? So they know that when they click something, it gives off this sound. If they click wrong, it clicks this sound. Yung feedback natin doesn't always have to be visual. It can be auditory. So ang dami rin nating matutulungan ng mga tao na ganyan. And di ba even si Google sa India, saka sa mga ibang parts ng mundo na mahirap na part ng India, hindi sa India, sa mahirap na part ng India, sa mahirap na part ng Philippines, they use that na eh. Yung pwede kang mag-Google, pero telepono gamit mo, may dadial kang number na Google. Tapos pwede mo tawagin, Google, what is the ganyan. Tapos sasagutin ka. Okay, so pwede mo, di ba, pwede mong gamitin pang aral, pwede rin para sa mga hard of hearing. And also for the people who do not have access to, let's say, a fancy computer, but they do have a phone. Kahit yung mga 3210, kasi pwede mong tawagan si Google. Tawagan mo, tanong mo, sasagutin ka using AI and yung voice, ano yung pangalan ng voice, Basta ang galing nun eh, yung sumasagot na yung tumatawag ng telepono mag-isa. So, may mga ganun. So, why can't we lead the way in that? Diba? Yung kung sa Philippines, yung MMA, we can create apps like that. We can start now. Research on these things. Making safer spaces. A safe space doesn't always have to be a physical space. It can be a digital space. And yun na nga, using sound for all visually challenged people, or, just to be inclusive with everyone, using all the humanistic values that we know, using the wonderful technologies that we know, we can create safer spaces for everyone, right? So even people who are challenged visually can join people na, diba, para mas masaya. Especially these newer spaces in virtually, mga chat rooms. And it's also connected to the McDonald's thing, to the Jollibee thing, na if they know those things, pwedeng mas mahina ng konti dahil maririnig pa rin yung boss nila dahil ang lakas talaga ng boss nila. So yung tenga mo hindi magsasuffer. Because I've been in those parties, Shakey's, McDo, di ba? Mga anak, mga bata. And it just, tapos malas-malas mo na lang kung natabi ka sa speaker. Bang! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Tapos yung speaker. Bang! Oh man!
Meron pa nga silang mixer, sir, di ba? Pero ang lakas pa rin yung setup.
Doon ako natatawa. May mixer sila.
May mixer na.
Pero lahat na ganun.
Oo.
Parang hindi ganun kasi yung purpose nun. Hindi lahat kailangan malakas.
So dapat talaga education, audio education. Tama.
And you make safer. Right. And even when we make, for example, when we make cars, and Manila is very noisy.
Yeah.
Right? And if, ang daming contributions ng ingay ng kotse, ng mga building, ng mga structures
na truck.
Yeah. Oh, di ba? If we take care of how people hear, you can create materials or, ways na to lessen these sounds.
Yeah.
Or at least maintain mo man lang yung truck mo para hindi masyado maingay, di ba? Or something, or yung kotse mo, di ba? So lahat magkakatulungan and stuff like that. So, very exciting stuff, right? It's something MMA can really explore. It's something our MMA people here can definitely explore. For education, for cultural preservation, for inclusivity ng mga disabled people. There's so much room for that. We have so many technology available to us. There's always room for more. There's always room for someone else na para maging masaya tayo lahat. So let me wrap this up. Just giving you the possibilities of the sound of tomorrow. Hearing develops before sight in the mother's womb. If you don't know that, well, now you do. Mas unang nade-develop yung tenga kaysa sa sight. So even before we're born, we're actually hearing the world through our ears. That's why you see parents singing to their children inside the womb. Well, yung nanay kumakanta, marinig yun ang diretsyo ng bata. Kaya yung bata, mas didikit kagad sa nanay kasi alam niya yung boses, magkadikit sila. Yung tatay, kung di idikit yung bibig niya or yung sarili niya siya ng nanay, baka mahirapan. That's why sound affects us deeper in some ways. Diba? When we hear sound, mabubulabog ka talaga eh. Kahit wala kang nakita, diba? Nabubulabog ka. Kasi yun yung unang sight na na-develop before eyes, before nose, touch tsaka yun ng mga diba? Hearing shows us what we can't see. So, mata natin can only see this. We can't see that unless you have a camera and you have a monitor, right? But you can't see that. But our ears do. So, ang laking tulong talaga ng hearing for us. Kasi, yun na nga, this is what? 50, 60%, 40%? Pag nakaharap ka. The other 70%, 60%, tenga mo ang nagtasabi sa'yo kung ano yung nandiyan. Kaya nga medyo kinakabahan ako sa mga tao naglalakad sa kalye na palagi naka-earphones, naka-earpods, parang repetitive ako dyan. Parang you're waiting for an accident to happen. Isang loko-lokong driver lang at hindi ka lang tumingin, pangga ka. So correct. Parang, I tell my kids, don't ever do that.
Tsaka yung
when
mga
you're walking, you need earphones. Yung mga nagdadrive.
Nagdadrive na naka-earphones.
Yes.
Totoo, sir. Totoo.
Yari yun, men. Sobra. So, sound is really important. It tells us more than our sight.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when we're doing something. If you're driving, or for example, yun na nga, nagmamotor ka, yung kamay mo nandyan na yan eh. Hindi mo naman mahahawakan yung kotse. Nandyan ka na eh. So, anong maaasahan mo? Ito na lang. At saka yung ilong mo. Baka may maamoy ka. Amoy sunog. Amoy indo. So, good. Tapos yun na nga, hearing degrades. It cannot be restored. So we should pay attention more to it. Diba? We should pay more attention to it and and the good that it can bring to humanity. Hearing is such a wonderful thing. We take it for granted, but pag nawala yan, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
finally, yan na nga, sound is vibration. If we can harness it for humanistic purposes, we'll have a future of good vibes. Play of words, vibration, good vibes.
Gusto ko yung good vibes.
So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, now I guess Q&A or whatever. So
Ayan.
thank you. That was it. That was the presentation. So,
Thank you so much, Sir Pepe. Ayan.
thank you po.
So I think we have a lot of questions then, no?
Really?
Well, we have two.
Okay.
We got a couple
Okay,
actually.
sure.
So we
I
have
haven't checked
from
the chat box. Okay.
yeah, si Alejandra Camo. Sir Pepe, for a digital sound production class, what are the subjects or topics for this subject? Like ano po ang mga dapat ituro sa mga bata na subject? And ano po yung softwares or tools that you can suggest na ituro sa kanila?
Okay. It depends on the school's program also.
Right.
But ako, in Benilde, we made sure that we have to incorporate audio education. Yun nga, hearing, alagamang hearing. Yeah.
Right. Oo.
Oo, unang-una yun. Kasi pag hindi nila naintindihan yun, magkakabingi-bingi ka, magkakaproblema ka. Kung yun ang gusto mong trabaho at may problema ka sa hearing, sira na yung asset mo. Diba? If you want to be a film scorer, if you want to be a musician, wala na, sira na. So number one yan. Now, in terms of what the... I can share guidelines, not specifics, kasi specifics can change. But if you were to teach digital sound production, you always teach concepts and principles first. Kasi yun na nga, marami na ngayong libreng gamit, marami ng libreng software, maraming murang gamit ngayon.
Yeah.
Diba? Lalo na ngayon itong pandemic, dumami yung mga nag-vlog. Nauso dyan yung BM800 na mic, saka yung B8 na sound card.
Totoo.
Ang dami, parang, nung una, ako skeptical ako. Okay man. But now I have it. Wala yung mic, yung B8 lang. So I use it.
Why not, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo, pwede.
And it's okay. I mean,
correct.
Okay naman yung tunog. It's not super bad. Yeah. Okay to, sige. And as a performer, I can perform again. It feels great.
Totoo.
And these apps, Kumu, Facebook, whatever, they're finding ways to monetize eh. So pati ikaw mababayaran ka kasi content creator ka.
Correct.
So they're now all competing, whether it's in your YouTube, you're in Kumu, you're in Patreon, whatever. Lahat yan magbibigay, may way na pwede kang kumita. And alam na natin, karamihan ng mga performers, tinamaan talaga nitong pandemic eh.
Yeah, totoo.
And now you have a way to play again. And kahit paano to perform and earn again. Kahit hindi ganun kalaki, but hopefully if your market gets bigger, then yay, di ba? So maganda.
So meron talaga.
Yun, audio education, kaya. So
Totoo.
audio education, principles, and ganyan. Then tsaka na yung mga techniques. Again, naalala ko yung isang audio teacher namin sa Benilde, si Sir Rico Bicol, yung sabi niya, it's not the pana, it's the Indian. Diba? So, kahit maganda yung pana mo, kung yung Indian, hindi marunong umasinta, hindi tatama yung araw mo. So, kailangan ayusin mo muna yung sarili. And deep understanding of these concepts and principles and processes will help you have better technique. And of course, if you have the right tools, nice tools, then of course, mas maganda yung yung kakalabasan niya. Yeah. We strive for that. It's not perfect because it's admittedly, for example, even in Benilde, alam naman namin sa audio track na hindi naman lahat ng MMA students pumasok dyan para mag-audio. Pumasok yan dahil graphic design, apps, related, web. Yeah. Ayun yun eh. And I think magugulat sila, may sound. Parang, may sound. Parang
included.
Alam na, maybe it's, yeah. So, alam namin yun. Sa music production siguro, alam nila na, gusto talaga nito matuto din. Or gusto kumanta, gusto mag-produce ng album. Yeah. But sa MMA, ganun. So, we try to start them right to get the interest going and to show them the possibilities of what sound can give. So, our electives, yun nga, are fun. We have Foley, yung gagawa ka ng mga sound effects, sound design, voice acting, para fun. Masaya siya. And you can earn from those things.
Yeah.
Tapos yan, nakita ko, mga tools and software. Ako, sir, I would suggest, ma'am pala, Alejandra, Ruth. I would suggest there's a lot of free
Actually,
software now.
yeah. Yun yung follow-up ko rin, sir. Sorry. Kasi di ba, right now, a lot of students are, wala naman sa laboratory natin. Like, for example, sa inyo sa CSP, right? Hindi tayo makapunta doon. So, what are the free like apps na pwede nating magamit?
Perfect, yeah. We included 4 in our list.
Okay.
The qualification should be 1, kaya niyang mag-multimedia work. Meaning, kaya mong mag-load ng video. Siyempre, kailangan mo ng sound. Makaka-record ka at ma-edit mo yung sound. Pero kailangan at least kaya niya mag-load ng video. And kailangan free. And kailangan tumakbo sa makina na kahit medyo mahina. Kahit cellphone, dapat makatakbo.
Actually, cellphone
so yun
talaga,
yung criteria.
Yes, sir.
Kasi minimum yun. So meron kaming 4 na nakita. Pero hindi to lahat pang phone. I mean, halo-halo. Well, kung Mac user ka, GarageBand, panalo na yun. Kung may access ka sa cloud, kasi sa Benilde may access yung mga estudyante sa cloud, sa Adobe, Premiere. Pero kailangan mo na malakas na makina at saka ng internet. Now, paano kung wala ka ng malakas na makina? Saka internet. Third is Reaper. R-E-A-P. Let me type that in the comments. Reaper. It was designed by the people who did Winamp, yung dating 90s na. Winamp. Kicks the llama's ass.
May tagline ito.
Yumaman na sila doon.
Yeah.
So hindi nila ginawa tong Reaper para kumita. It's actually very cheap. Ang style nila, sige, yung features, maliit lang siya, parang 64 MB lang. Pagka in-install mo. So gagana siya kahit sa mga makina na Pentium 3.
I see.
Kasi ganun ka ano.
Pero walang phone version yan, sir? No, wala pang phone version ng Reaper yata. Phone for apps. Wala pa.
Phone yun. Phone. Wala.
For phone, wala. So computer lang. We're talking about computers. Yeah.
Computer. Desktop. So kung meron ka nun, laptop kahit luma or at least gagana. Now technically, it's technically free. Why? Because they have the 60-day evaluation. Trial. Pero pag natapos yun, kukulitin ka lang niya, have you made up your mind? Do you want to buy? We have the professional license, we have the personal license.
Yeah.
Tapos yung isa parang yung personal license parang $50 lang ata yun. Mas mura. Tapos yung professional mas lang. Yeah. Pero anong pinagkaiba nila in terms of version? Wala. So kung konsensyahin ka na lang na kung professional ka, baka gusto mo dito sa professional. Kung estudyante ka or personal, baka gusto mo dito sa personal. Yun lang, di ba? Pero ito pa yung maganda doon. Pag sinabi mong, no, I'm still evaluating, under pa rin yun. As in full version pa rin. Walang features cut. Wala. As in gagana pa rin siya. So technically, pwede ka lang I'm still evaluating. Pero yun lang. Puro ganun lang. So kukulitin ka lang niya sa simula para baka naman gusto mo magbayad. Pero kung sabihin mong still evaluating, hahayaan ka niya. So, technically free, but not.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, pero yun nga maganda, dahil kahit maliit lang siya, it doesn't eat much, pero professional lahat ng features na. You can put video, you can put multiple video, and then can edit. So you can work on multimedia at least there. The last one can run on a phone, on tablets. It's called Cakewalk by BandLab. It's free. You can load video. You can also load sounds. And kung musician ka, it has like drums and keyboards, may virtual instruments na. Cakewalk used to be a separate, kalaban niya ng mga Pro Tools, Nuendo, Cubase. Magkakalaban yan dati. Pero ngayon, ewan kung binenta nata sila ng Yamaha or ng Roland, sorry. So now they're binili sila ng BandLab. And itong Cakewalk, it still is a feature-rich pack software and it's free.
It's free. Yun yung maganda.
Doon, it's free. It's free. Oo. At tatakbo siya sa cellphone. So even if kay cellphone ka lang. So kami, we came up with this alternative list in our classes in MMA in Benilde. Ang sabi namin, sige, kailangan yung programa, yung subject tatakbo kahit telepono. Pero ang pinaka-investment mo, bili ka kahit yung Lazada, Shopee na lapel. Ganito. Ito, Boya. Maayos
Boya
na, diba?
brand.
Hindi naman ako tulog lata, di ba?
Oo. Totoo.
And itong mini shotgun, yung may kasamang fuzzy windscreen. Dead cat. Yeah, you can. Why is this nice? Because versatile ka na with this. So you can still do your VOs. Kung audio for video yan, attach mo, bili ka na lang ng adapter, attach mo. Kung may selfie stick ka, boom mic ka na, pwede ka na mag-shooting. Pero kailangan mo isa pang camera para sa video.
Yeah.
Pwede ka nang makapag-video shoot. Pwede ka nang, at least hindi totally sarado.
Correct.
And yun na nga, because, like what I said, because we're focusing more on the principles in the process, if you understand those principles and processes, it's not the pana, it's the Indian.
It's the Indian.
Tsaka kasi, we found out that these things, kasi I recommended this also to my class last term, but I wasn't sure kung okay siya. Nung nagpasa na sila ng assignment, nagpasa sila, yung dalawa doon bumili nito.
Okay.
Ang ganda. Sabi ko, okay, it's not
bad.
Not bad at all. It takes you like 80% of the way. And then the rest, pwede mo nang i-edit. Linis-linis ka na. But that's still better than nothing. Na cellphone lang yung gamit mo na walang mic.
Totoo.
Oo. So it really, makaka-produce ka ng professional results if you know what you're doing with the cleaning and ano. But it takes you there. So, yan, I would suggest, especially now, sa pandemic, ito, good investment. Itong lapel, good investment. Yun na nga. Tapos, if film yan, you can hide the cell phone and then you can hide the lapel. Pwede mong i-boom mic, DIY. But the quality is pretty good. It's 70-80% on the way there.
Yeah. Compared sa wala. Oo,
kaysa sa wala. Kaysa sa wala. Right. Yeah. Ito, dumami na pala yung mga questions.
Yes, sir. Oo.
Augmented reality.
So, and sir, may question si Kenneth. Like, what's your favorite movie based off the sound design or film score?
Madami rin to, sir.
Particular? So siguro yung pinaka-top mo. Top na, like number one on the list. Yeah.
Well, hindi ko maisip yung number one in my list, but top of mind right now is Star Wars pa rin. Kasi,
Star Wars talaga.
Yeah, kasi si Ben Burtt, the sound designer, created the world of this amazing sound, di ba? Na parang everyone knows the sound of a lightsaber. Everyone knows the sound of R2-D2. Everyone knows the sound of the laser. Oh, di ba?
Tayo fan masyado na.
Oo nga eh. Ako, di ako fan yan.
Ay, wala.
Mandalorian, Lego na sa Shopee tsaka sa Lazada.
Yeah.
So, kasi yun talaga, ang ganda talaga ng sound design. Ang ganda pa ng music. Kasi, wow, talaga, di ba? Pero marami ding iba. Actually, depende siguro sa pelikula.
Yeah.
Like for Asian horror, I love Asian horror films because they're not like the Western counterpart na ang ingay na pinangungunahan yung takot with music and sound.
Yeah.
Sa Asian horror, tahimik lang. Tapos boom! So,
yung mga Thai films, sir, no? Particularly.
Thai, Japanese,
diba?
lahat sila.
Japanese,
Thai, Japanese, Asian horror, ang galing.
Right.
Galing. Which I like kasi ang horror naman talaga, ang talagang, if you think about it, ang key to horror is takutin mo sarili mo. Kasi sa Western, ang hilig nila magpakita ng monster. So, it's sound design nila. But here's the thing. Once you've seen that thing that is scaring you, it's not scary anymore because you've identified it. Versus when you don't see it, it's just, ano ba to? And Asian films, horror, ang galing nila mag-suspend ng gano'n na, paano to? Namatay, nakamatay, gano'n. Until yun na sa dulo, oh my God, gano'n pala. Doon ka na matatakot.
Right.
Ito, ano pa to? Ito si Australia.
Okay, yes.
Hi, sir. Since your score films, process of film scoring different from video game scoring. Aside from Castlevania, is there any video game scoring the soundtrack that inspired, if any?
Nabagit mo kasi Castlevania kanina.
Yeah. Marami na. Ngayon, sobrang dami na ngayon. Like, there's this composer that I really like. I forgot his name.
Pero ano yun, sir? Anong game or movie?
Sige. Kasi ang Jeremy Soule, there you go.
Okay.
Yung mga works ni Jeremy Soule. So, sino si Jeremy Soule? Na-encounter ko first yung game niya, yung music ng game niya sa Icewind Dale. RPG, dati. Kasama ng mga Baldur's. Oo, pare, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale 1 and 2.
Icewind Dale.
Oo, Baldur's Gate. Okay, para dun sa mga modern work niya, Skyrim. Siya yung gumawa ng Skyrim. Yan. Love na love ko yung mga work niya.
Maganda.
Sa video games. Isa pang trip ko, si Esper Kid. Spelled as Jesper Kid. Si Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Basta yung buong Ezio series kanya. Siya din gumawa ng Hitman. Siya gumawa ng... yung dalawang yun. Ang gaganda ng mga score nila for... With regards to the process, dati hindi. Dati hiwalay. Dati kasi it had something to do with the technology. Noon kasi, when it was still the NES components, the sound chip nung NES, isa dalawa lang. So they had to they had to share sound effects and music. Kaya doon na uso yung mga bit music for 8-bit music. Ganun.
Right.
Kasi yun lang yung sounds niya. It can only play like 4 sounds at the same time. 4 or 3, something like that. But you can sequence the sound in such a way na parang magana siya. So that was a trick. But when technology improved, hindi. Ang pag-score ngayon ng video game para na rin pelikula. Actually, yung paggawa ng video game ngayon, para ng pelikula. So they hire Foley artists, they hire orchestras. Talagang pelikula na, as in, ganung level na, mataas na. So, unless ang ginagawa mong game is parang 8-bit nga na, pero ngayon kasi, yun na nga, yung music na, halimbawa, gagawa ka ng parang 8-bit game, yung sound card mo, hindi ka na limited eh. You can make the music in a different software and you can make it sound 8-bit, but kasi 8-bit, naging ganun nga, kasi nga sa limitation ng software. But yun nga, you're free to do more wonderful stuff. So, mas madali ngayon because now you have samples, you have all these synthesizers, software, and hardware, and so madali yun in that sense. If you're trying to do a Stardew Valley na isang tao ka lang and gagawin mo lahat, again, it's easier because now you have all the tools. So, I believe Stardew Valley, the guy used Reason. So Reason is it's a software where you can make music in it and it has virtual instruments, tons of virtual instruments. Pero pinatunog niya na mukhang old school na 8-bit, di ba? Pero may mga kanta na tunog 16-bit pala, tunog Super NES. Yeah.
I see.
Personally, I like the game Halo. Oh, maganda Halo. Maganda 'yun.
Okay.
Si Mary Tan, sir, ito si Mary Tan. May tanong. Sound design subjects in MMA were super memorable for me. Aww. Mary, would you remember who your teacher was? Sound design subject. Kung sound design, I'm guessing you were ID. If they call it...
Ikaw daw, sir.
Oh my God! Oh wow! Thank you.
Ikaw daw yun.
Wait, I forgot that. Is Tan still your last name or dahil may asawa ka na ngayon? Thank you.
Yeah.
Nakaka-touch naman.
Yung mga former students mo nandito lahat.
Oo nga.
Ito, sir, kay Estrella Alinea, there's a voice acting elective in MMA.
Oh, yeah. She was my student last term.
Okay. I think there's another question here.
Ito nga, oo nga. If you sign up for voice acting or
do you recommend, you came Meridin, sir, do you recommend daw any voice acting schools or courses available?
In the country right now? Yeah. There's this group. It's called Vocal Alliance.
Yeah, I'm part of that.
Yeah, sila Sir Melvin, sila Sir Henry. Okay yun. Panalo yun. As in...
Sige, I'll post the
yes, sir. Yeah.
Vocal Alliance group. Yeah, you can join here. Sila Robbie, okay, they actually they conduct classes or parang Zoom classes with those aspiring na maging voice actors and voiceover talents. So here, ayan. It's called Vocal Alliance.
Vocal Alliance. Yeah, ang daming
monthly.
Sorry, Mary, hindi na kita naalala. Sorry, ang tanda ko na. Ang dami nang naging estudyante.
Wala pang asawa, kalaro ka.
Sound design, so ID, ID...
Just per kid, super good.
Between 05, 04 to 07. Yun pa kasi yung tawag doon eh. Iba na yung tawag ng sound sa sound niya. Yan. Si Jose. If you sign up for voice acting or other audio program classes, school gives you pro tools. Yeah.
With MMA,
well, now hindi. Now hindi.
Mahirap.
Kasi nandun sa Taft eh. Tapos kanya-kanya. It's really a challenge right now. Foley was one of my favorite classes. Yay! Okay. Ayan. Ayun pa.
Yan. Si Sir Don Henry nga daw.
Panalo yan.
Siguro we'll do that, no, guys. We'll have another talk for that. We'll invite some voice acting or voiceover people then siguro. Yeah. Yeah,
I remember Mary now. Tama. Wala pa kasawa. Kakalaro ka namin sa Assassin's Creed. Oo. Tama. Tsaka what's her name? Kaka-birthday lang, kulot buhok. Oh my God. Si Michelle. Si Michelle. Yeah. Naglalaro kami multiplayer. Sasagutin kita. So, yeah. Sir, have
So,
you
yun.
seen Sound of Metal? Hindi
of
pa
Metal.
nga. I wanna see that. It won Best Sound in Oscars. Oo nga. Hanap tayo ng copy. Copy, Hanap tayo ng copy.
Okay.
Voice acting talk.
Voice acting talk. Yeah, oo, yun nga eh. We'll have that, no?
Yeah,
Siguro
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
post it
yeah.
na lang. We'll invite some speakers then, like si Sir Pepe, like, we'll be
Again.
discussing that. Oo.
Si
But
Henry. Si Henry yung
Sir Henry, yeah, baka pwede. We can also ask
mas
him.
yun talaga ang nila. Although I do voice acting for some projects, but it's not really my main thing. My main thing is sound design and music.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
We'll do that. We'll have that.
Yeah.
So siguro, sir, it's already 2:30 na rin, no? Siguro my final question, what can you like give, or what advice can you give to people who wanted to work in this industry nga, knowing like what you experienced, like what yung background mo, kahit na walang background sa, sa sound and all of that, kahit na hindi nakapag-aral. For some of our listeners or audience now, what can you give them? What advice can you give them for them to transition or somehow work in that industry?
Okay, now that I've matured and gained wisdom throughout, a little wisdom,
right.
a little wisdom. Number one, kailangan mo munang pagalingin yung sarili mo.
True.
So know how to do things, and you have to know what you're really trying to do. I mean, is it voice act? Kasi sound, although it's sound, may mga niche yan eh. Is it voice acting? Is it music? Is it sound designing? Is it performance? What is it? Is it recording technician? And they're all valid. There's so much room for that. Number two is, yun na nga, you have to create connections kasi it's not how good you are, it's who you know. And I've seen a lot of great talent, but because they don't know how to, they don't know anyone really. So hindi sila makapasok sa ganito. Number three is pay attention to your business class if you do have one, because you have to know how to sell yourself. One thing about being a freelance, whatever, whether it's graphic design, music, sound design, whatever, freelance, ang produkto mo hindi naman yung music mo yan. Produkto mo hindi naman yung illustration mo yan. Ang produkto mo ikaw.
Totoo.
So you have to invest in yourself.
Right.
Attend these talks, attend seminars, attend online courses, exercise. If you're a voice actor and you don't take care of your voice, hindi ka nag-exercise,
mahirap makakuha ng racket mo.
Hindi ka makakuha nun. Or baka may niche ka lang, tapos yun na yun, tapos minsan na lang. But you have to take care of yourself. Yun na nga, you have to invest in yourself.
True.
You have to invest in technology for you, your skills, your attitude, lahat yan. The product is yourself, exactly. So those are the three. So one, magpagaling ka with what you do. Two, create your connections. And three, invest in yourself. And sell yourself. Learn how to sell yourself. Yeah.
Yun ang importante, di ba?
Yeah. Kasi kahit gano'n ka galing, if you don't know how to sell yourself, mahirap talaga.
Exactly.
Mahirap talaga.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Pepe, for that.
Thank you, Sir Milds. Thank you, Sir
Yeah,
Miss
thank
Vanny.
you everyone for joining us for our first ever MMAAP Talk. Bueno mano si Sir Pepe for this year, 2021. Again, if you guys want to listen to this recording or to this video that we had, or video conference that we had, it's posted in Facebook. And please like our page also. That's MMAP, facebook.com/MMAAP. So again, this is Sir Melvin. My name is Melvin, and this is Multimedia Arts Association of the Philippines. Once again, thank you, Sir Pepe, and have a good day, everyone.
Like and subscribe, keyboard
KUNGFU. Yeah, okay pala. You should be Sir Pepe, I forgot. Yeah.
Lagay natin. Right. Keyboard KUNGFU. Yan.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Vocal Alliance, sabi.
Yeah. Shout out, yeah.
We'll invite some people from Vocal Alliance, sige. We'll do that.
Si Ella nandito. Ella, ba't ka nandito? Kailangan mo ng seminar points, no?
Pina-invite lahat.
Oo nga eh.
Alright.
Hey, thank you, Marco.
Thank you,
Thank you, Sir
Pepe. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Salamat.